Hey everyone, welcome to Authentiques Auto. This is a bit of an unusual video for me. This is usually a French-speaking channel, but I thought that, hey, why not trying to reach out to a broader audience? And so here we are today with me introducing you my 1996 Peugeot 406. A very beautiful example, and I think underrated nowadays. These used to be quite popular in the 90s and 2000s and rather common on the road, but nowadays they have almost disappeared, especially in this pre-facelift version. And so I think it deserves to be recognized as one of the greatest sedans, mainstream sedans Peugeot did. Luxury cars aside, this may well be the best sedan of the 90s. So together we'll try to understand why. I'll try to prove my case with my 406. This is the second car I've ever owned, and in the beginning I was not meant to drive and buy such a car, but when I saw it online for sale, I instantly fell in love with the grandpa spec, like green over gray velvet. You'll see inside in a second. And the second I saw it in real life, I knew I would buy it. So here we are. I think from these first shots you can already tell that it's in very good condition, and indeed it's a second-hand car, so I'm the second owner. The first one passed away, and so this car has been kept in a garage for years. It has been very well taken care of, and it just has above 80,000 kilometers on the clock, and when I bought it, it only had 72,000 kilometers on the clock. So this is just a car that was used in the Paris suburbs to go to the supermarket, and basically that's it. In 25 years it drove on average no more than 3,000 kilometers a year. That explains why it is so clean. That's the first paint, by the way, and it's striking when you see that, because most 406 nowadays are just almost close to the end, used as workhorses, honestly, or just family cars, and that makes such a clean example even more interesting to review. So this car is from model year 1996, as you can see with the French tax sticker here. It's not original, but this one is original, so you can see the old plate from Parisian suburbs. And every time I look at it, I'm thinking this car doesn't feel like it's 25 years old. I mean, look at it. It's very modern, very simple, very sleek as well, but also it has a lot of personality, mostly thanks to those beautiful headlights. And I think the pre-facelift version looks better, in my opinion, more anchored into the 90s, more exciting in my opinion. This example is finished in the beautiful Sherwood greens. That's a dark green. Interestingly, Peugeot had 3 different dark greens offered on this car. Pretty nice choice. And this one is the high-end SV version, which means you had plenty of things inside, like 4 power windows, sunshade in the back, automatic AC, etc., etc. It comes with those beautiful 15-inch hubcaps. So it's not alloys, but actually I think these look better, more timeless, and they for some reason look bigger as well than the 15-inch alloys. So I'm happy to have these on the car. And the SV also comes with painted mirrors and front fog lights here. Under the hood you'll find the 2-liter 16-valve engine, which makes 135 horsepower, so it's not crazy, but it's quite decent. You know that this car was rather heavy compared to the 405. It gained on average 200 kilos, mostly due to design, security, more quality as well, but the engine is still quite pleasant, sounds nice, and it's powerful when it wants, just to make you enjoy a nice drive. After almost 2 years of ownership, I still can't get enough of the design of the car. I think it looks very clean and very smart. Again, we have the pre-facelift version here, so you won't find you know, those painted parts inside the rear lights. It still looks great. You have an integrated spoiler here. If you look, it's quite curved here. The logo with a push button to open the trunk just makes sense. The Peugeot logo here is nice, simple, straight to the point exhaust. And just, I mean, everything about this car, again, makes sense. The lines are clean, the surfaces are flat enough compared to nowadays cars. And anywhere you look, you're not going to be shocked. And it's just beautiful and reasonable in a way. Okay, it's now time to show you inside and just listen to the lock. Very noisy. Okay, here we go. Okay, before we step inside, let's just take a second to admire those amazing seats. Aren't they the most beautiful seats you've seen in a while? For me, these played a big role in my decision to buy this car. So it's full velvet, something that has completely disappeared nowadays, and it's a shame. You have light gray with dark green sort of waves, and they are extremely comfortable. Plus, as you can see here, they're in virtually new condition. So again, the interior, just like the exterior of the car, it is mint. You take your time travel machine, you go back to 1996, and this is what you see. So welcome aboard. I think it is a pretty nice interior, don't you think? Very clear, very smart, the way things are designed, positioned, and you can really see and feel the quality. Let's start with the driver's door. So because again, it is the SV version, you have everything you can dream of here is there. So you have the 4 power windows. This one is automatic, so you just press once and the window will go up or down. You have this to lock the rear windows, so that's the kids security, and you have also power mirrors, so you select right or left and then you can move the mirror glass as you want. So on the door you have a good amount of velvet. This, you can see it's quite old. Unfortunately, this is where you cannot do anything about it. You have fake wood. This is not real wood, this is all fake plastic, but quite nice still. You have also a very thick and soft plastic over here, so very nice. And you have some storage over there. So moving on to the steering wheel. This one, you can tell it's the very early versions because the line is not metal, it's black plastic as the rest. I think the steering wheel looks amazing, very simple. I like how thick it is, and by this grain, how clean it looks, you can tell again that the car has a very low mileage. I just love the dashboard, old-fashioned, no screen obviously. It is very easy to read. You have all the information you need. And on the SV version, you have this little one on the left that gives you the level of oil in the engine. So you don't have to do it manually. So you just turn the car on, you wait for a second. And if it's in the orange area, then it means the oil is fine. If it's in the red area, then you have to reload. What I love the most, but it's also quite annoying, is the most 90s thing to start the car, and it's the code. So you come here, you do a first step, then you press the code, and then you're good to go. I really like the sound. moving on to the center console, it is, as you can see, very straightforward, very simple, but it's a nice design. So here again on the dash, it's all soft and very thick plastic, makes it feel super solid. You have your vents over here. This gives you the temperature, so 17 degrees Celsius. You have the automatic AC unit here, so you can again select your temperature, the speed of the fan, and different settings. And here at the bottom you have the radio. So no CD player, it's the good old-fashioned way. And you have a little screen over here, and this to hide part of the radio. Not very useful, but hey, that was the 90s. Also very 90s is your little ashtray here, in addition to some storage area. Then you have the 5-speed manual gearbox. No specific comment, it's easy to use, very straightforward. On the passenger side, you have your airbag and the biggest and heaviest glove box I've ever seen. So that's again in favor of quality, and you have all velvet inside. And listen, when I close it, it's very impressive, the noise it makes. On the roof, you have your standard lights and also some reading lights, either for the passenger or for the driver. I forgot to mention that you can use the radio directly on the steering column. So here you can change the volume or the track, etc. Now we move to the rear seats. So no surprise, they are very comfortable. I love how the side of the seat kind of leans against the door. That makes it feel visually even more comfortable. You have your adjustable headrest here, a nice armrest, and you can just travel for hours without being tired. This car is really made to travel, and I never actually experienced the rear seats because I'm always driving it, but I wish I could, because some people said it's even better than at the front. You also have an ashtray here, and I want to show you some things. So this is a repair book that came with the car, so you have all your images to do everything you want step by step. So it's in French only, but it's quite nice. And I purchased this magazine from 95 when the 406 was released, and there's a big comparison article against its rivals. So you had the Xantia from Citroën, the Ford Mondeo, and the Renault Laguna. So big comparison. And the title, interestingly, says in French, The Velvet Revolution. And yeah, the 406 was kind of revolutionary in a way that it was so big jump in quality compared to the previous one. And no surprise, it wins the match here. Last but not least, the rear windows. So here's the sunshade I told you about. So it's manual, it's not a Mercedes, but it's still nice. And then this, which was meant, I don't know, for storage, I think. And inside I got some original documents. So this one first, from 96, period correct. It says technical specs, options, what's inside the car, colors, everything. Then you have this one from 97. I bought it just because I like it. I like how it looks with a little window. But the best one is this one from 96. So you see the difference. This one has more pages, and it tells you about really everything, how great the car is. But I mean, that's just, hey, that's typical. You see the multi-link rear axle. and some beautiful pictures. I just love these. To open the trunk, you just press the legs of the lion, and here you go. Interestingly, on the other versions than the SV, this is raw metal, but this one, as you can see, has a nice carpet, so you can tell it's high-end, or at least Peugeot high-end. So now the trunk, here you are, very big. You can put big suitcases, and just take a second to appreciate how clean it is. I think this trunk, the carpet, everything tells you really about the condition of the car, and that's how I found it. It's not even cleaned deeply, it's how I found it when I bought it. All right, let's go for a drive. So when I say this is probably the best mainstream sedan of the 90s, obviously it's because it's my car, I love it, but also I think what the journalists at the time said of the car is very true, which is it just handles better than its rivals. It's more comfortable, makes less noise from the inside. It's just better. You have a good security feel, and the car is very modern to drive, so that's why overall it's the best. It's the most balanced car that was available on the market, and if you consider the jump, the difference between the 405 and this one, it's huge. So this drives almost like a car from 2023. Really, it's super modern, super easy to drive. The steering, power steering, is super convenient, nothing special. The gearbox, very precise as well, and it handles like a dream. So the car was offered in 95 with a multi-link rear axle, which was a big deal at the time. It was the time when Peugeot and French OEMs were considered as the best to make chassis. And this multi-link axle basically has a special thing that makes the wheels, the rear wheels, move slightly when you're in a curve. So the car handles even better thanks to that. And without even mentioning the multi-link axle, it's super comfortable, and that's where the car feels old, but in a good way. It's that you sit inside and the seats are just, it's heaven. It's soft, like it takes care of you like a modern car doesn't. And I just love the old way. So we are on a mountain road, and even though it's a sedan, it's not meant for that, because you have the chassis, because it's a Peugeot, and also because you have quite powerful engine. You can drive it like a 106 Rally if you want, and you also have the manual gearbox. So let's go for a quick dynamic drive. You can tell the 135 horsepower are here. The car is obviously naturally has aspirated, so it likes to rev. It likes to go beyond 5,000 RPM, and you just heard that. The car loves it. Maybe the only thing besides the general softness that makes the car feel quite old is the braking. It doesn't brake very well, but apart from that, it's powerful enough. And I'm wondering if the V6 makes a big difference or not. Obviously, the noise would be better, sure. But a 4-cylinder, they're known to be quite angry engines. It's been a long time since I last drove this car fast, and I forgot, it is quick. And it handles, again, super safe. You know you're far from the limit. That's it, far from the limit. Okay, let's calm down and let's conclude this video here. So yeah, I think Peugeot, when they dropped the 406 in 95, they really made a great job, and everybody was here to recognize how good the car was. And so as a daily driver in 2023, it's I just love it. I just love it. It makes sense. Absolutely not outdated. You can play with it, you can drive it very slowly, it can be very comfortable, it does everything you need perfectly, it is safe, it has all the modern things you're looking for in the car, even the sound system sounds great. So yeah, might well be the best sedan of the 90s. My conclusion about this car will be the same as in the French review, which is, I think if automotive progress could have stopped, I think this car, 1996, would have been a great way to top it. So if you like this video, if this 406 brought you some memories back, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments. Just drop me a like. Subscribe if you like content. Fortunately, it's going to be mostly content in French, but you know, one day maybe another English-speaking video may come up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.